Welcome to a special episode of the KCCLA Virtual Korean Language and Culture Series.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Jung Kim, and I teach Korean history at UCLA. I'm also one of the instructors at KCCLA.
Today, BTS and Parasite are known throughout the world as the two biggest examples of the Korean wave, but there's much more to the phenomenon. The term Korean wave, or Hallyu in Korean, was actually coined in China, but the Korean government started using it in 1999. Since then, the Korean wave has become truly globalized, reaching almost every corner of the world. The Korean wave reaches fans with a rippling effect, as explained by Tungbong Choi in Hallyu 2.0. K-pop and K-drama often go hand in hand, and someone who gets hooked on one also picks up the other. They then become fully swept up in the Korean wave, expanding to Korean films, esports, K-food, K-beauty products, and fashion, culminating in learning the Korean language and traveling to Korea to experience Korean culture directly. In this video, I'll focus on K-drama and K-pop because they're the gateway to Korean popular culture for most people, and we can see how they've globalized in part due to fan engagement. Early K-drama in the US was broadcast on Asian American TV stations such as Channel 18 in LA. And if you lived close enough to a Korean community, you might have rented videotapes or DVDs from a video store. But as K-drama became more popular, shows have been broadcast on TV all over the world as well. Jewel in the Palace is an elaborate dramatization based on an actual 16th century woman who achieved the rare feat of becoming a royal physician. The show was broadcast in over 60 countries between 2003 and 2018, and audiences enjoyed watching the strong female protagonist overcome numerous struggles to achieve her professional dreams. When the show aired in Iran in 2006-2007, it had an audience approval rating of 90%, and there were reports that streets were deserted as people went home to watch the show. And while the historical setting was very different, Iranians said they could identify with the main character and saw many cultural similarities between the two countries. Jewel in the Palace, along with many other dramas and reality shows, were very popular in China as well. My Love from Another Star was so popular in China that it also led to a surge of interest in Korean fashion and food, especially chimek, fried chicken and beer. Korean dramas became very popular through international broadcasts and streaming services. The entry of Netflix into Korea and the reverse flow of Korean dramas to the rest of the world has made K-drama even more popular. But how are Korean dramas so successful? They're very popular for their engaging storylines and plot twists, love triangles, and common struggles with family, romance, school, or work. For example, Sky Castle resonated with Chinese audiences with its depiction of a hyper-competitive education system, and the extent that some parents will go to ensure their children's success. Crash Landing on You was popular because of the romance and chemistry between the two stars, the portrayal of North Korean life, along with the usual staples of luxurious homes, cars, enticing food, and fabulous fashions. K-drama usually air 2 episodes per week of a little over an hour each, for a total of 16 episodes over 8 weeks. Dramas usually stream abroad on the same day that they air on Korean television. As mentioned earlier, the fan culture of Korean dramas is one of the reasons for their global success. According to Meetup.com, there are about 127 meetup groups on K-drama with a total of more than 85,000 members, though some of them are language exchange and cultural groups not solely devoted to K-drama. There are also websites that help fans keep track of all their favorite Asian dramas, and other websites provide detailed synopses and analyses of Asian dramas as well as additional content, such as highlights of actors. Facebook, Netflix, and Viki all make it possible to have watch parties so people can stream dramas together, even while staying safe during this pandemic. They also generally have chat features so viewers can share comments while watching the drama synchronously online. People everywhere also post on social media about their favorite shows. In February, the hashtag for the final episode of Crash Landing on You received 460 million views on Weibo, a public social media platform in China. But this type of shared fan experience is not a new phenomenon. Winter Sonata was so popular in Japan among female viewers ages 30 to 70, yes, I said 30 to 70, that the series was rebroadcast with Japanese dubbing. Yoshitaka Mori wrote in East Asian Pop Culture that ardent fans watched Winter Sonata multiple times, formed discussion groups to talk about the series, actively gathered information about the show and the lead actor, nicknamed Yon-sama in Japan, and bought related merchandise. They also wanted to see Yon-sama in person. Some women even learned the Korean language and/or traveled to Korea to see sites where the drama had been filmed. It's easy to see why Korean dramas have become so popular and globalized, but it's not just because of the dramas themselves. It's apparent that fans do much more than just watch K-drama. They actively participate in shared viewing and discussion with friends and family, on the internet, and in social media. Let's look at K-pop now. K-pop first spread throughout Asia, gaining a fan base in Japan, China, Taiwan, and Singapore before coming to the Americas, Europe, and Oceania. Meanwhile, it continued to spread in Asia to Thailand, the Philippines, and beyond to Nepal and India. But long before BTS, Rain was perhaps the first Korean singer to become famous in the US. Rain won much attention from Stephen Colbert, who playfully called him his arch-nemesis for the top spot on Time's 100 Most Influential People list, an online poll that went viral among Rain's fans. Rain had many popular albums and international tours, including in the US. Rain has also acted extensively in Korea and appeared in 3 American films, including Speed Racer. You probably remember the wild popularity of Psy's Gangnam Style in 2012, which has been viewed almost 3.8 billion times on YouTube. Back then, Gangnam Style was played at just about every sports event and dance. Even though most people couldn't understand all the lyrics, they liked the catchy English phrases, unique hand gestures, and dance. It also inspired flash mob dances all over the world, including one in Paris with as many as 20,000 people. And there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of fan-created parody videos. Currently, the most famous female group outside of Korea is Blackpink, who debuted in 2016 with 4 members. Their songs have been on the Billboard Hot 100 and Top 200 lists, outpacing even BTS in the United Kingdom. They have a huge following on YouTube and have toured internationally. On their In Your Area World Tour, they performed 36 shows in 28 cities. Ice Cream, Blackpink's 2020 collaboration with Selena Gomez, landed them in the number 13 spot on Billboard's Hot 100 chart in their debut week. This also marked the first time that 2 K-pop groups, the other being BTS, were in the top 20 spots on the Hot 100 chart. But BTS is probably the most famous K-pop group thus far. Since their 2013 debut, the 7-member group has grown steadily in popularity. Fans are drawn to their music, dance moves, music videos, clean image, and also for the way the band engages with their fans, known as ARMY, Adorable Representative MC for Youth. BTS has won numerous awards in Korea and internationally, including the American Music Awards. BTS's 2018-19 Speak Yourself World Tour had 42 shows in 20 cities on 4 continents, and more than 1 million people saw them worldwide. Their all-English lyric, Dynamite, soared to the number 1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 chart with more than 100 million views in the first day, setting a new world record. They've been at or near the top of the charts for 8 straight weeks. K-pop groups give their fans a sense of cohesion through their signature colors and light sticks. BTS's color is purple, and their light sticks are called ARMY bombs. And naturally, the new Samsung Galaxy S20 BTS phone is purple. But BTS is also committed to humanitarian efforts and partnered with UNICEF to spread their message of love myself to fight violence against children and teens. They even addressed the UN General Assembly in 2018. BTS also voiced support for Black Lives Matter in 2020, announcing a $1 million donation to the organization. ARMY matched and exceeded the $1 million donation in just over 24 hours. Although there are many other K-pop idols worthy of mention, let's consider some reasons for the success of K-pop around the world. In addition to their singing and dancing talents, they have sophisticated music videos. As a part of their training process, they usually learn foreign languages so they can communicate directly with fans and give interviews. This helps them build a very active international fandom. Much like BTS's ARMY, fans are well organized and generate positive publicity for their favorite idol through social media and collective action. In return, Korean idols show humility and gratitude to their fans. K-pop idols also use social media and their public images to be more accessible and familiar to their fans. Academics call this a parasocial relationship where fans feel like they know their idols and are close to them. The large-scale KCON also shows the international expansion of Korean popular culture. KCONs provide a platform for international audiences through concerts, as well as expos and meet and greet sessions that make for a very interactive collective experience. Some of the direct encounters are known as high-touch sessions where fans can get a high five and maybe say one sentence to an idol. KCON has done much to reach out to fans and give them a shared space to experience K-pop and more. During the pandemic, KCON has rebranded itself as K-Contact to virtually reach fans around the world. As we've seen, the Korean wave, especially Korean dramas and K-pop, have become globalized because their content appeal greatly to fans around the world. But there's much more. Korean idols foster a sense of closeness with their fans through social media and in-person interactions. And fans aren't just passive consumers. They join massive fan groups and form their own groups, use social media and the internet to discuss and publicize their favorite idols, purchase albums and merchandise, master K-pop songs and dances, go to concerts, and show unwavering support for their idols. And because technology is such an important way in which idols and fans connect with each other, we can expect to see even more virtual concerts and ways that the Korean wave will continue to spread. 감사합니다. Thank you for watching this special episode of the KCCLA Virtual Korean Language and Culture series.